action.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? For First We Eat, I'm Danger Dave, and you're watching Hot Youngs. It's the hottest show with even hotter questions and hotter wings. And we're joined by the Northwesterner Bobby Bizzy Young in the house. You know him from thunderous strikes on the pinch, high above the ones and twos as the Funk Master DJ on Hollow Earth Radio and other epic parties. And most recently as the proud and doting father of our nation's future star, Alex Young. Bizzy, thanks for swinging by.
Dude, I'm so excited to be here.
So, how you usually do on Spice, man?
I do pretty alright. Yeah, I guess I like the spice, but I'm still a little apprehensive about some of what's in front of us here.
I think it's time we face the wings of death.
Yeah, you know, these I'm pretty excited about.
The middle ones?
These.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic, and we putting it on wax. It's the new style. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. What up? And when I'm on the mic, the suckers run.
Let's dive in.
Okay, what do we got up first?
First up, the Hot Ones Classic Hot Sauce. Cheers, everybody. All right, Bobby. You grew up in Sammamish, Issaquah area of this great state of Washington.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You've lived through a fair amount of ups and downs in the region. From the ash still settling of St. Helens eruption right before your birth, the rise of Microsoft in your childhood, cultural explosion of the grunge scene in your middle school years, to the tech boom in the late 90s as you entered the workforce, to the current hyper expansion and contraction of the modern tech industry. How are you feeling about the prospects for the region's future economically, socially, and culturally?
Jeez, that's a heavy question to start things out.
It only gets deeper from here.
Oh wow, okay, I'm glad the spice is where it's at right now. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know, I think there's some serious concerns. But part of like any quickly growing city, you know, there's too many things happening, I think, for the government to like react to. So I feel like, you know, obviously we were talking about this earlier, the homeless population is upsetting, and in the sense that we can't do more about it, and the inequality that's obviously probably very related to that. So I think there are a lot of concerns, but yeah, ultimately, and some growing pains, and in the long run, the growth is probably good for the area.
Yeah. Do you feel like the contraction that's happening right now is going to be just a bump along?
I think so.
Maybe a correction to hyper expansion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the last 10 years have been kind of bonkers, and makes sense. Things got to slow down a little bit and pull back a little bit. I think. I mean, it's unfortunate for anybody that has to go through that, but I think if you're in the tech industry and you're doing, I don't know, probably anything really, but you're probably gonna land on your feet eventually. Yeah. It's not like the days of factory workers getting laid off, and then it's like, where do you go to find that next factory job? Move up, like, you know, dig up your whole roots and move somewhere else, or do you try to like get by? So yeah, I think it'll be just a little blip. Hopefully not too long. Yeah.
And the housing market, how are you feeling about that? You are in the market yourself.
Very sensitive to that. It sucks. Yeah. I wish there were things that were a little more accessible for anybody to get into. But at the same time, I'm like extremely cognizant and aware of how like privileged a place I'm coming from, already owning a place, and you know, like that. I could be way worse off. basically.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get too upset about the situation in that sense, but I feel for people who are trying to buy that first place or first house or whatever, and I think me more than maybe Liz, but want some like serious stability. Like I feel like that's a big part of owning a house, like place, build roots and just a place to call home.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it would be nice if cost of living and people's general income did the dab.
Yeah.
Or like that.
Yeah.
Instead of like that.
We're not to the dab yet.
Yeah.
We got some time.
Yeah. No, for sure. When I was first looking to buy a house in like 2000, I talked to this finance guy, and he was like, "There's a big bubble you don't want to buy right now." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool." But then I had to wait 7-8 years for that bubble to burst. And looking back, I probably could have bought something for even less than I ended up buying for after that bubble. So it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Number 2.
Oh, this is tried and true here.
Tropicante.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
All right.
First.
All right.
There you go.
Cheers.
Yeah.
You too.
Good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Really good flavor.
That's delicious, yeah.
Yeah.
Pineapple,
It doesn't hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Citrusy. Okay, you have a thorough understanding of Star Trek in many of its iterations, without diving into any commentary on racist stereotypes. Which non-humanoid species would you most like to share a beverage with, and which would you be most scared to enter a street fight against?
Wow. Interesting. Have a beverage with. Probably, what are they called? The, whatever Dax is on Deep Space Nine, because those people, like, they have, like, the worm that lives inside them, and they transfer it, so they'll live, like, 600-700 years, but through all these different
Hosts.
hosts, and, like, each one can be a male, female, it doesn't matter, and so, like, you'd probably get some pretty cool stories about what happened over their crazy life.
Yeah.
So that would probably be who I'd have a drink with. The other one is who would I not want to like run into in a dark alley.
Yeah.
I feel like the easy thing there is probably just a Klingon. Like Worf would be pretty
Intimidating.
Yeah, intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
And with his batlift skills and knowledge of just general fighting. Yeah.
I'm thinking, no, maybe I can do this.
Uh-huh.
But I think that will go away pretty quickly.
Next up is Micro Saucery Pico Peppers Pico Rico.
Oh, all right.
How do you like the wings, too?
Oh, man. They're delicious. Yeah,
Going up a level.
Okay.
All right.
Going up a
All right.
level.
Cheers.
Cheers.
What flavor? I can taste it.
Yeah. That's good.
Now let's see what happens.
Right. I feel like it's kind of awkward to eat wings.
They aren't the most flattering.
No.
All right. To the envy,
That was good.
but also the fear of many, you were interviewed by the ruthless Triumph the Insult Comic Dog in 2009 at Bonnaroo.
Mm-hmm.
Coming across just fine, and not too insulting, by the way. Not only was that a notable run-in with a celebrity, but it also aired on the brief run of Conan O'Brien's Tonight Show hosting.
Mm-hmm.
How would you characterize the state of recycling in the world in 2009 versus where it is today?
That's interesting. Yeah.
You pivoted real.
Yeah. I appreciate you, because I was really nervous about how I was going to come across in that. I gotta say, I was sitting there like sweating bullets when I kind of realized
I
he
would
was
say
coming towards me.
if you see that dog coming and you know what's up, you better.
Turn around.
I mean, a lot of people are definitely the butt end of the joke, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I am happy I survived that without looking like a total fool. But that's good because it was crazy doing. I did that 3 times. For those who don't know, I was called Trash Talker. I sat next to the trash and then basically just told people where to throw their trash because they had recycling, compost, and trash. I think that was it, just the 3.
Mm-hmm.
But this was also 2008, 9, somewhere around. I don't know when Conan was on. But
The notes were 2009. I don't.
Yeah, no, I mean, okay. My first volunteer was like 2008, I think. So I did 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, and then 2000. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, back then I don't think people didn't really understand recycling as well. But even then, over the years that I did it, it did get better. But it was still like. They were smart to put people next to those trash bins and not have to sort it later.
I mean, I don't think they would have.
Well, yeah. Except that's part of kind of Bonnaroo's ethos thing. It's like they're sustainable, like they're.
Right. That's true.
But yeah, maybe not. But I don't know. It's hard because coming from Seattle, it's like recycling has been ingrained in my brain forever. So it's hard to like judge or like understand what the rest of the country has been or where they're at.
Yeah.
I think composting is even still kind of a difficult thing for some people. Like, even in Seattle, my parents don't compost at all because it's like, well, what are we supposed to do? Put this food in our house, like, until garbage day? Like, I don't know. It's difficult. So, but it does. Yeah, I don't know. It feels like it's gotten better.
All right,
that was a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. I felt the kick up too.
Did you?
I think so. All right, so now we are on to barbacoa. So we're doubling again. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh, that's nice. Wow.
Oh, real good.
Oh, that'd be good on a pork
That's
taco.
delicious.
Some tacos. Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a favorite, I think.
That one is really good.
Yeah.
As an avid concert goer, you've seen some legendary acts. I'm talking acts like the Everly Brothers, Simon and Garfunkel,
Oh, you just add that in there.
Jeff Mangum, the Beastie Boys. That are these acts are difficult or impossible for modern audiences to catch. So, what are some of the shows you're happiest that you witnessed when you did?
Well, easy. 2 immediately come to mind, and they're both at Bonnaroo. Radiohead in 2006, because they hadn't toured in a long time at that point, and it was like really cathartic. I don't know why, but that was my first experience at Bonnaroo, so it was like the double whammy of going to Bonnaroo and seeing my favorite band. Like, you know, at that time, I felt like Radiohead was like all-consuming for me.
Absolutely.
So to see them and be at Bonnaroo was like mind-blowing. But then to like read years later that was like one of their all-time favorite shows ever to play was like, all right, it was a mutual experience there. We were all vibing on the same vibe, which is like, how often does that probably happen?
Yeah.
Right.
Especially because Tom can seem like a bit of a grouchy fella, you know? I mean, and then Beastie Boys at Bonnaroo, again, that was one of the later ones that I went to, but that was their very last show ever. So I caught them on their final show.
That's
Never
amazing.
played again. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And they are like, honestly, I would think even if you don't know the Beastie Boys or like them that much, I have a feeling people, if they saw them live, would be impressed because they do everything and like bring so much energy. Even, I don't know how old were they when I saw them, probably pushing 60 or at least in their 50s.
Whoa.
So crazy to think about.
And they're just like rocking harder than
Yeah.
anybody. And just like they're so entertaining because I feel part of it for me is like the breadth of the music they play. I mean, like they'll do a punk set into like an instrumental jam session, into like hip hop, into like, you know, country music or something. Like, their just breadth of music is so insane. So they can really like pace their shows nicely. So it's like ups and downs, and but like not bored. You're just like, okay, yeah, this is time to like chill and just sit back and kind of enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like 2 or 3 songs later, it's like, boom, they're gonna be back with the energy and yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a little nervous.
All right.
Yeah. I would
But
agree.
honestly, it's been pretty good so far.
Nice.
Fly by again. Ooh. Hot potatoes. Ooh.
Not sauce.
Yeah. Yeah. This is halfway mark.
Start heating up, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, cheers. Yeah.
Yours might be heating up, but my ones are cold. No, you're good. Are you okay? You put a lot on.
It went back in there.
It's in there.
Oh, yeah. I
Mhm.
tasted Szechuan.
I feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Your face is real red.
Well, it's going to take just a second.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, no. We have to push through. This is part of it.
Oh, you need me to ask something? Let me know.
All right,
I like
you
that
have
flavor.
you have been a radio DJ, a party DJ, a mix master with the funkiest business.
That's very complimentary.
What aspect of mixing on the decks do you think is most crucial to a successful mix?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I mean, really, I feel like mixing's almost secondary. You gotta have a good song if people want to dance to. It's the number one thing. But, assuming you do.
Right.
I don't know, I kind of find it in some ways it's pretty forgiving. Because a lot of people don't really know what the hell is happening anyway. So it's like, you can make a little mistake or two, but probably just like flow. Making sure that like things make sense a little bit. Like, you don't want to be too jarring of a transition.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's not even just like necessarily the start and stop, but like keeping the BPMs kind of similar or something,
Yeah.
so like people can keep their flow going and not like all of a sudden like have to stop and think, wait, what's going on?
Right.
Not alone in
Fuck,
this.
careful around those eyes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, watch your eyes, everybody.
Watch-
Yeah.
You know. Let's move on here. So this is a Danger Pop original.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers.
Don't know the Scoville units on this one.
That's tasty.
That's some flavor.
It does.
Not too bad though, heat-wise.
No.
Is it? All right, we might dodge a bullet with this one.
I feel like the back half for us is not as treacherous because
Mm.
3 of the 5 are yours.
Okay. Bizzy B, you've played football your whole life, but you traveled.
You're
Yeah, with a U.
assumed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you traveled to Europe to see the World Cup in the mid 2000s.
Yeah, what?
04 or 5 or 6 maybe. Germany, right?
06, yeah.
How did that experience in particular shape your relationship to watching the World's game as a spectator?
Yeah, it was cool because the World Cup on TV, you know, you just see the teams play and it's like fun to watch the game, but didn't realize all the pageantry and everything behind it. Very similar to when I went to the Olympics in Vancouver too. It was like, it's not good TV. You kind of have to be there or whatever, but you know, like everybody's like just so amped to be there, and everybody is like full of national pride, like
Yeah.
you don't see elsewhere, and it's like okay, or like expected almost, like
Yeah.
to rock out, and it's not meant like as an aggro thing or something,
Or
you know?
even political. Or
Yeah, or
something.
political at all, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, when you go to, like, a World Cup town, or World Cup country, and go to one of the towns that hosting a game, or maybe not even necessarily, but like you just see like groups of all the nationalities roaming around because they're all making friends amongst themselves. Like, what are you doing here? Blah blah blah, having fun. And you'll just see them walking down the street as like kind of a third party observer, and then they'll like run into each other, and then all of us like the two teams that are playing or whatever, and then all of a sudden like they'll just start singing at each other and like dance offs and whatever, and it's like I don't know, like I've never really seen anything like that before, and like really just reaffirming like, I don't know, like humanity, like ultimately everybody's just like, you know, out for the same thing, living a good life, having a good time, supporting the team. So yeah, I think that kind of just changed my view of like what the World Cup and what it meant to so many different people. So super stoked when it comes to Seattle. In 4 years, like that's the thing I keep telling, like Liz and whoever isn't that familiar with it. It's like, the games are gonna be cool, but I'm telling you, like you're gonna want to just be like downtown and just walking around and seeing what is going on, because the games come so fast. You have like so many people rushing into a city and then like leaving, but also like the next group is like right behind, and so like next thing you know there'll be like 50,000 Ecuadorians in your city like taking over, and they're all gonna be wearing Ecuadorian gear and like out to just party and have the best time of their life. So why wouldn't you like just want to party with them? Okay. It's also a much bigger World Cup. They're adding 16 teams, I think.
Okay.
So this year is 32, and it's been 32 since 1998. And next year it'll be 48. Right, yeah.
Wow.
Or 4 years.
Let's try this one.
Cheers. Yeah.
With the blood clot, I
Definitely
rap about what you
mango.
gonna do when the beat goes drop. What you talk about?
For me, I should.
Oh, it's got some heat.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That's right to be in the back half.
Yeah.
No.
That's hotter than the other stuff that we've done.
All right. All right.
Damn, Dave.
You once said that given the opportunity to go to any concert, any time period,
Oh boy.
that you would have wanted to see the Clash in
Yeah.
the late 70s. Can you expound on that, and what vibe in particular would you have wanted to capture in that environment?
Yeah, that's definitely still up there, I think, for sure. I don't know. I've just been a huge fan of punk for a long, long time, and to see some of my favorite punks at like a pinnacle point of their career. But I don't know. I'd be really curious to see firsthand like the vibe of the experience. You know, like, is it the same kind of thing I've experienced, or was it totally radically different?
You know, they're very political. I
Super
wonder how much of that resonate in those shows at that time.
And that's always been a weird thing in punk. You know, like the politics of punk can be very difficult to navigate. Or, you know, like because you have like all the spectrums, like from borderline white supremacist people all the way to much more progressive minded, and how like those sub communities engage, and like, you know, the punk scene, I think in England at that time especially was more probably a bit hardcore, and then to have these guys come along that are a bit more on the progressive side and changing punk. It's like, I feel like that was one of the first bands probably, I could be very ignorant here, but it really kind of like opened punk up to like a bunch of like different ideas and sounds.
Oh yeah. Well, what we're talking about right here is Da Bomb Beyond Insanity.
I feel that one coming quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Just try to breathe. Everybody keep breathing. Don't
Oh,
touch your eyes.
no.
Don't touch your eyes.
That was a bad idea.
It's just like
Oh boy.
venom, kind of like.
Oh yeah, I get that little head rush.
Oh.
What would you say one of the most important foods you
Yeah.
have made that inspired you to get into baking and cooking?
No, guys. Oh, those are. It got thick.
Got some tears there. I mean, careful with the napkin. God damn, I don't know, dude. That's tough. I think it's just was my insatiable love for sweets growing up.
Oh yeah? Sweet tooth?
I did. I don't have it as much anymore, but yeah, like I loved. My mom would make chocolate chip cookies all the time, so I wanted to do that, and then I just kind of wanted to keep seeing where I could push it to make the best. Not that my moms weren't great; they were fantastic.
They didn't have any weed in them.
They didn't. Oh yeah, there was a weed question to that too, or there was just a weed aspect. Yeah, I mean that came out. I just wanted to get high.
What recipes are you excited to pass along to Alex?
I mean, again, that's the chocolate chip cookie. I feel like if you can make a good chocolate chip cookie, you can like find your way in anybody's heart. So,
Ooh.
you know,
Yeah.
not even on a like, you know, relation, like
Yeah.
boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever thing, but just like
Best friend.
friends and like,
Yeah. We get. Mhm.
yeah. You know, someone come on. Oh, would you like a warm chocolate chip cookie?
Mhm.
I'm
I
gonna
would.
say no to that.
If they say no, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be friends with them.
Yeah.
So the
right.
dark inside of them.
But more than that, I guess like the love of doing it, you know, more than passing down.
It's the act of it.
Enjoy, yeah, like the process and like the end, you know, from beginning to end. And I think Liz is really good at that too. Like, you know, like her family, like growing up, and has like very much been on the farmer side of things. So even like, you know, before it makes it your way into your house, acknowledge that process and like appreciate good quality products that farmers have really like worked hard to provide, because everything is, you know, it doesn't just land on your table. It goes through your
Yes, sir.
But yeah, just yeah, you know, yeah, have fun, and anybody can do it.
It's the joy of life.
It's
What
joy.
a
Yeah,
joy.
I mean
Joy.
seriously, yeah. That's like one of Liz and I's favorite things to do. Is like, all right, we're gonna make something complicated or easy, and then enjoy it. It's like,
Yeah,
oh.
you guys are good at it.
Try, yeah.
Anyone that's ever traveled and stayed with you, that is one thing that I think everyone will agree with, is that
Thank you.
you haven't
That's very
traveled
nice.
and eaten well until you stayed with us.
Oh, that's very kind. Yeah.
This is insane.
No hiccups yet. That's good.
Would you say
Those
it's
are the worst.
beyond insanity?
Yeah.
Do you need a minute?
I do. Oh man.
Do that actually.
Last couple here.
What are we calling this one?
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
We're back in it.
Yeah.
Boys getting live on the spot, putting all kinds of shame in the game. You got it. We keep the party moving till the broad daylight.
Probably not hot at all. So.
Oh, incredible.
Go, we're just on taste.
Yeah. Okay, Bobby.
Mhm.
You and Liz had planned the most epic wedding
Oh.
I've ever heard,
Oh.
and sadly, COVID came around and wreaked havoc, ultimately ending up postponing the wedding, and we haven't heard any updates on that.
Oh, God.
So, in light of COVID decimating the entire planet and disrupting your most major life event, What is one of the most impactful novels you've ever read?
Well, I like the exclamation point of a hiccup at the end.
Impactful to me and like, yeah. Okay. From like a political standpoint, I feel like 1984 kind of blew my mind when I first read it. I'm like, now, many years later, and reading it a couple times and seeing weird parallels and echoes through history and modern times, like it's been pretty interesting and eye-opening, and really, I feel like changed some of my thoughts about, I don't know, government and maybe like everything isn't as nice, like all this Facebook, social media tracking and stuff. Like, it's all fine in the right hands, or maybe not even in the right hands. But like, how easily can that stuff be corrupted?
Yeah.
But I think like on a novel, like from a literary standpoint, I feel like reading Infinite Jest just shattered my brain and opened my mind up to like what a novel, like where you could take that media or medium or form, whatever. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is happening? Like, for a good portion of that book, and like, well, I never really do this, but with Liz, I was like, I got to read this part out loud to you because this is like totally blew my brain. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a fun book to read necessarily, but it has like pretty amazing moments.
Yeah.
We're here.
Time for the last dab.
Let's dab it, guys. Ready? Oh boy, that's a good. That's
Well, I can find out. I think you can handle that. Oh, Dave,
Dig in.
you are a glutton for punishment.
Well, I heard it tastes good, so.
Who'd you hear that from?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I've ever heard you say that.
All right,
Alright, guys.
Oh, okay.
cheers, y'all.
Yeah.
Wow, guys.
We did it.
Here we go. All right, the Young family has grown in recent years with the birth of what is sure to become the most exuberant audiophile in the Northwest. Oh, a hilarious and inspiring young child that brings joy to everyone she meets. How is the prospect of having a completely moldable mind and becoming a parent in today's political and social climate shaped how you feel about Tim Robinson's comedy?
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Appreciate it more maybe because to find the lightness in life, like the brevity or like like the
Absurdity.
Like, I feel like those things are more important now than ever because sometimes things can feel so heavy all the time, and so yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's probably increased my appreciation.
It's setting in right now.
I feel like the half of my face, like it went into one half and the other half was like.
You did it. Look at you. Look at you. All right.
Cameron.
Yeah, Bobby. You did it. You went through the gauntlet, and now there's only one thing left to do for you, my friend, is roll out the red carpet for you. This camera's the only one we have. Tell the people what you got going on in your life.
Well, I'm going to hike the Grand Canyon.
Woo!
Woo!
I hope it doesn't hurt this bad. I think I'd rather hike the Grand Canyon.
What we say after,
Yeah,
right?
recorded.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a big one. Alex is starting daycare
Whoa.
in April. That's a big one. April? I think April.
Whoa.
So So that'll be fun. I'm really excited for her for that more than myself maybe, but you know, getting to go play with all the kids and stuff. I feel like that's kind of cognizant of right now.
That sounds great.
Mm-hmm. I'd say that doesn't really taste great either, but it's not like as toxic tasting. It's still very, very hot. But I feel like that just does not taste good. That's like acceptable taste, but it still doesn't taste great. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. So what can you tell me about this picture right here?
I'm pretty sure that was the night of
October 30th,
I first met the love of my life.
Oh!
I think you're right.
But I was not in a good mental place to meet her there, so glad it was another like 6 months or something went by before we met again. But
Do you remember what she was dressed up as?
oh yeah, Bob Ross.
I think she might be right here, and you're talking to her in this photo.
Oh, explain the next one.
My gosh, it melts my heart.
All right. How about this photo?
Oh my god. That's when I thought we were gonna get thrown to the curb or busted into a place we weren't supposed to be. That's a great photo though. Why are they pointing at me? I don't remember that part necessarily. But maybe because I'm wearing hardware. No, but yeah, that was the last night on the PQ. That was at the VFW.
We were not bees.
Except, was it the guy on the left that told us to go there? Or was it some other guy that came there?
I don't remember.
I can't remember, but that guy, because we were at that one party, he was like, oh, just go over there. We were like, we're not. And he was like, and then we were fine until like right
At the
yeah, when he was there, something came out that we weren't in the service, and he had our back. And I was like, "Stop it, Bill," or whatever that guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yep. How about this one?
Dude, I don't even know where. Is that? I mean, was this the last night?
It was like one of the last nights.
Yeah.
Definitely one. I don't know. I don't think I was there.
Am I licking that?
Yeah, you're saying goodbye.
Oh, in my own personal way. Yeah. Yep, that was like a whole week home for me for sure. For a while.
Yeah.
Love that meeting. I was just reading listening to some maybe it was on NPR. I can't remember. It was either on NPR or I was reading an article. There was this idea that these kinds of spaces don't exist anymore, and it's causing. That's a lot of us. It's not just the social media and online presence, but it's people who don't have places to go to that are really low cost to just hang and be a part of like a community.
Right.
Like here, I could order one beer all night, and they wouldn't give one. But that's like most restaurants, bars you go to. I doubt like a bar maybe is really gonna push you out or anything, but like certainly restaurants. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we got new customers.
Yeah. But then also just so warm and inviting. Everybody was so cool. Maybe not at first, but someone had a little bit of a harder exterior. But
We got to warm up a little.
yeah. But then once you do, they're like very friendly and nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I got to experience it.
How many years do you think you were a regular there? That's a good run.
Yeah. Because I lived there almost 2 years across the street. When I moved, I still, maybe it was even longer than that. I don't know what it was. But yeah. Wow. I remember all like multiple chefs. But weirdly, I still do it. I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. Had a lot.
Some excellent soundtracks
Oh, yeah.
while you're hanging out in the bar.
And they were like one of those places had like some sort of like in some vein or some way all over the vibe where you could kind of
Yep.
yeah.
Bye.